Hello, Cherie Hanson here. Yes, that is sunlight coming in the window. Yay! Yay for sunlight. I'm trying to stay in the moment and not let my mind run ahead going, if there's light, that means there are going to be fires. No, no. How trained are we to the negative thought? I guess I can learn that every day. During my Wim Hof meditation today, I came across the idea of how we let other people tell us who we are. Well, what's wrong with that? Really? Is there anything wrong with it? Yes, there is. Just going to adjust this a little bit here. What's wrong with it is it leaves us in an emotional state, like being an adolescent. Okay, so you know that stage in your life when you go from being a child to an adolescent and your body grows overnight. You can be half an inch taller, fourth an inch taller in a week. And who you feel like you are in your body is always strange and new and unusual. So what we do during those periods is we really rely on our peer group, on the people who are also strange and changing, the rest of the 14 to 17 or 18-year-olds to tell us who we are. And it's very important for us to fit in and to be part of a tribe. Why is it important? Well, because we have this ancestral memory of what happens when you are banned from the village or thrown out of the family or sent to Coventry. It means death. To be rejected by the group, to not fit in, to be seen as weird or strange or other is literally dangerous in the past history. We could not be shunned because it would lead to an early death. We would not have no supplies of clothing, food, comfort, because it was believed that this was a sign of possession. I think that still is in our culture. We are still in a place where if we see somebody that doesn't fit the social norm, that they're possessed by some kind of evil spirit, can't be trusted, and people pull away from them. But what has happened, which is so interesting in my eyes, is that the culture itself has shifted. In the 1950s, let me report to you, this is a message coming from the 1950s and that period of time. It didn't take much to be weird or strange or other or someone to be frightened of. It didn't take much at all. Wrong color? That's not the color this season. Don't do it. I remember when I went to my high school and all of the girls had Angora sweaters that matched their socks. So I'm watching this, and the signal is all it takes to be weird or a witch, or an alien is to have socks that don't match your sweater. And that was how severe it was. We're in much better times now, much better times, because we're starting to embrace the alternative choices in life. However, because of the confusion with who you're supposed to be, because it's changing all the time. Let's think of this, like you're an actor about to go on a stage and, the script you were given is it's going to be a murder mystery. No, it's a comedy. No, it's sci-fi. No, it's a fantasy. No, it's black. So you're standing there trying to memorize your script and go on stage, but every single day the energy shifts. We hear somebody is a hero, and then we see on social media, no, they're really a bastard. Somebody else is to be admired. No, they're not to be admired. They're horrible. And so we are preparing to step into the role of who we are. But it's changing. Now I'm going to talk about why this is great. Okay? For me, I think it's wonderful. Because if I turn over how I appear, how I move in the world, how I speak, what I believe in, what my spiritual and physical and social practices are to you, it's not one audience I'm playing for. It's not one audience I'm trying to appease. It's too confusing to try to be something at this point in history. It just doesn't work. So if we're looking outside ourselves for, security, reinforcement, the mirror, the validation, the cuddles, the, oh, you're amazing, to ground us in who we are, we're going to be really confused. I remember when I was living in Kelowna, and the first black person I saw walking down the street, a beautiful, tall, young black woman. I went to a coffee shop in a group, and everybody sitting there said, "Did you see the black person?" It was like, it was kind of like, a gray had showed up, or alien, or some kind of alien, or, like, wow. And that was good for us. That was really good for us, because we were having to open up our paradigm, open up our concept. And the work we have to do on ourselves right now is just quite beautiful. It's called authenticity, the city of being you, authenticity. And I want to talk about my journey on the authenticity trail. When I was in the 50s or the 60s, I was very, very anxious about who I was, because nothing I experienced in my home was like normal. It wasn't normal. It was chaos. It was the circus of evil. And so all the time I was told when I stepped out into the world, don't look like yourself. Don't show what is happening. Be an actress. Play to the audience. And there were times when I was kept home from school for as much as 3 months out of the year because I was too battered to go in public. So this is what I was taught. I was taught, don't show who you are. Well, that's been a challenge in the last few years, because I am slowly coming out of the closet. And first step that I took was the day I said to myself, you are an artist. I mean, I've been drawing and loving art and dressing artistically all my life. But it was like, no, you are an artist. And that dropped down. And so I would say to people, I have this job, but I'm also an artist. And when I first said it, I felt like I was lying. I felt that I was pretending. It felt like some kind of scam I was pulling on people. But no, the truth was I was an artist, but I was afraid to embrace this part of my identity because not enough people had mirrored back to me that I was an artist. I had to rely on my own internal sense of who I was. The next one that I stepped into, which was a giant step, was I had had a channel all my life. I knew things about people. When one of the kids in my classroom that was a close friend of mine got sick, I knew she would die. I knew it. I knew it the moment that she got sick. And that kept happening all my life. I would see someone and I would know they were troubled, or that they had some kind of damage, or they were carrying heavy, evil, dark energy with them. I knew this all my life. And so the next step was to start doing readings at psychic fairs. I had been reading cards and giving people messages since I was 20, but it wasn't until I was 40 that I came out of the closet and said, I have a clear channel. I know things. It's always accurate. Well, and I'm thinking, okay, there you go. You're doing a really good job. You're being more authentic. That's good. But the problem is, once you start on this path, it just keeps asking more of you. It just keeps, it's like squeezing an orange. There's more authenticity in there. Let me squeeze you some more. And go like, no, I can't. So the next part that came to me was, you can never lie. This dropped down to me in the last 2 years. You can never lie. You can never misrepresent what you're feeling or thinking. But that also included the spiritual practice of being able to say, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't have an opinion on it. That's part of being honest. So it's not like, oh, this is the way the world should be. It's more like, let me just check in on myself and see inside me what's happening. No, I'm sorry. I don't know how to respond to this because it hasn't stopped shifting yet. So how can I know? And the next part was, I was watching a video the other day. There was a spiritual teacher who was talking about how she had experienced her 2 brothers and her mother committing suicide. And through that, she had grown as a spiritual person because she had taken responsibility for grounding herself in the midst of chaos. You can do this. We can say, it's too big for me. It's too challenging. It's too dark. I can't do anything with it. Or we can step into it and say, no, this is my responsibility. This is my path. And I follow it. So the next thing that is happening for me is I'm being much more authentic and open about my childhood and what happened to me then. Not because I want people to, give me first aid, put in an IV drip, or, make it all better. None of that stuff. It's just that is part of who I was. I say was because I am beyond that now. I am quite happy with my life. So this is the real challenge of going inside. It's like you're going down into a dark cave and you think it's just a cave, and you go and you're like, no, there's a whole city under here. There are various branches and there are ponds and waterways and crevices and folds. And so we continue on with the journey of, first of all, trying to understand who we are. And next of all, not being afraid to be who we are. Not as a performance, not as a mask, but so that you can be this warm, compassionate human being on the face of the earth. So the journey continues. It's just like, oh my God. No, there's more. You can stretch that leg back over here. Let's just put that leg back over here. No, I don't bend like that. So today, it really came to me. This is the time in energy. This is the time in human history. This is the time for those of us who want to be light workers or helpers or compassionate supporters of others to come all the friggin' way out of the closet and not try to hide or pretend that we're perfect, because that doesn't help anybody. What a wonderful journey, right? Just remember to hang your food high in the trees so that the monsters can't get it. Thank you so much. Do like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it if you would do that. Thank you. My goal is to put myself in a place where I can help more people, and you can help me with that by subscribing and liking and sharing. Get a hold of me if you want a contract with yourself to create your future self, to see who you are authentically and what kind of heavy baggage you can get rid of and how to do it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.